Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. For tonight, I'll just give you some updates where I'm at right now. So on the Tiger GameCom, I do have the screen mounted up on the. I have this cut out larger, and I have the screen mounted. If I cared, I'd put an extra bezel on here, but I'm just going to leave it kind of homemade looking, dirty right now. So that works. So what I wanted to do is, last night I decided to go with continuing on with the regular AA batteries to power it up. I did the math, and it's about a little over 9-ish watt hours, which will run at about a little over 3 hours, which is fine. I'm not going to be playing it that much. Because if I went off a single one of these cells, you get about 9.62 watt hours, and it actually worked out to be almost identical to regular old AA's. So that way I don't have to cut any extra plastic, and all I did was add this buck converter here, which boosts. Sorry, this is a boost converter. This boosts it from what's it? About 4.8-ish volts up to the 5.2 volts it needs to be. And I added this little push button switch toggle. That I'm going to mount into what used to be the DC input line if you want to run it off of a wall wart. So it's going to go, I got to drill the hole out a little bit later, but it's going to go right in there, and it matches really nice. So just click, and you'll be able to turn the system on. I did want to, I'm doing right now, it's really late right now, it was a late night, add some connections for, I need white, black, and red. I'll keep the brown as an extra. I wanted to hook up the audio output directly from the, no, not the Pi. I want to hook up the audio output from the HDMI display to the speaker to see if it has enough oomph to run the speaker directly, or if I need to add an extra. It should be able to. That's why I'm giving it a shot, because that little speaker there is no bigger than a headphone speaker, so it should have enough power to drive a headphone. Sorry, it should be able to drive that little speaker there. So that, and I want to figure out what I want to tack on wires to do the power instead of going through the whole trouble of talking to myself. I'm not going to be able to fit a micro connection there. So if you ever look at a audio plug, when you plug it in, it's stereo. So the tip is left channel, ring is right channel, and then ground is the sleeve. So it's TRS. So if you ever see TRS, it means tip, ring, sleeve. So the tip, and then you have your ring, and then sleeve. So I'm just going to hook up the left channel to the speaker, and then I'll run the full stereo out to the headphone jack, which is right there. But for now, I'm just going to run the tip. So yeah, the tip and the sleeve to the speaker, and see what kind of. Let's see. Tip is the furthest away, which is that one Let's see how well this takes the solder before I have to put flux on it. Let's take a look. Ooh, it takes solder very well. Excellent. Somebody must have intended this to do this. So there's your tip. Well, it's a nice solid connection. Here's your ring. Oops, sorry, you can't see it. Tip. There's your ring. Right there. And there's your sleeve, which is your ground. Sometimes, like the Pi itself uses a TRRS, which has got tip, ring, sleeve, because it has the tip and ring are still used for audio. Then you have your first sleeve, which is your second ring is used for, I believe it's used for the video, analog video. Then the sleeve is ground. And since I'm here, what I wanted to do is figure out which on the Pi itself. I can never remember on this guy here. I can never remember. It's this is your connector coming in, micro coming in, and one of those is the ground. One of them is the power line. Let's see. It's going to be actually pretty easy to tell because you just go from the ground on the board, which is going to be the same as this. There's the shield on it. It's going to be the same as the ground. You got 2 points. One of them is this. That was right. So, let me move it up so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. This guy here is ground, and that's your 5 volts going to come in on. Here's your ground and no continuity. So as your ground comes in, then your 5 volts comes in there. It's actually like 5.15 is what the Pi actually likes. Okay. Black and red. Trim that way down. Tilt this up a little bit. Get a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. And there's your tip, ring, sleeve. And I'm putting a black wire, tin wire. Red. Real short red. It's a little nub of it. There's your red wire right there. Get some heat on it. Here we go. Saves you from having to have a connector sticking out of it. And this is going to go. Everything's actually going to be pretty tight here once it's all done. So that's going to face top. This comes out here. I don't want too much wire because this thing is not that big in here. Alright, let's put this, tack this on here. Let's see, you're 26 gauge. Oh, you're 28. I actually adjusted this little boost converter before to be 5.15 1.5 volts. So I'm just going to go ahead and solder this on, solder this on, like so. Like I said, I already put the switch in there, so it's not going to turn on arbitrarily. I'll adjust the voltage one more time with the full load on there. And sometimes in your loaded voltage and your unloaded voltage are slightly different. Hooked up. Alright. I am looking for you. There you are. Oh. I actually need to wire that to the speaker. Let's see, the audio jack is down here. So this guy goes here. It'll continue around. Audio comes out here, which is over this guy. So this GameCom has a pretty awful speaker, but it's not the worst I've ever heard. Guess which one's grounds, because mine, okay. Let's take a look. Should be seen around 16 ohms. .32 ohm speaker, which is fine. It's normal. Actually, it's good because it's a low resistance. It'll that worked just fine. Alright. Moment of truth here. Pi goes like this. next to impossible to get in HDMI. Is that in all the way? I'll find out in a second. And audio is hooked up. Let's flip the switch. Oh, it's going to complain. It doesn't have a joystick. Well, that's a good sign. It's not even giving me low voltage warnings, which is good. We just set it right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to put in a solder directly onto the back here because that is way too tall. If the speaker's too quiet, I'll just add a audio amp in line with it. I got this guy and I got a smaller one too. Oh, that screen is dirty. My goodness. Sound settings. Audio card. Audio devices HDMI. Okay, good. Mac. Get out there. Well, that's way too quiet. Alright, so I'm going to have to put it in. Definitely put the audio in. Producing sound. Alright, that's fine. I go. Do I do this one? Do I have the room for this one? Oh, you can see how cool it looks though. You got the, you know, you can't hear it. Yeah, it's way too quiet. Cool. Alright, so that's what I wanted. Quit. Shut down system, yes. So that was my experiment for the night. So I got the power working, and now what I just need to do is figure out a little audio amp for it. I think I have a smaller one than this too. Then of course, when this all goes together, I need to cut. This kind of goes like this. Good, I'm nowhere close to that sucker there. It's gonna go together like that. Now I just need to figure out where I need to cut plastic so I can actually close the case up. Alright. That's a good knife for a short one. But yeah, there's your little power switch. There's your little boost converter. Probably boots up nice and fast now because it doesn't have a problem with the amount of power it's getting. Alright. Don't want that shorting across there because that's bad. Alright, so next up I am going to go ahead and add that audio amp. But that's enough for tonight. Thanks for watching.